Alright, so as you probably suspected a while ago, this is not exactly going to plan. Alright, so we got a lot done last night. We went a little bit later than I was expecting, but we did get a huge chunk knocked out. So the next steps are to bring the subframe up, bolt it in place. We're going to cut the push rods. We're going to put the crossbar in place, and we're going to figure out where all the tabs need to go, weld those on, and then it's pretty much bolting everything up and hoping that we didn't overlook something. I'm sure we didn't.
Put us literally right here.
So the issue that we just realized is that we did not cut the body back far enough, and we're gonna have to cut into the structure in one way or another. We just figured this out, and the gambler's in 3 days.
All right, so after doing some very, very calculated engineering measuring, we figured that we need to cut to about right here. So we're gonna break the plasma out, and we're gonna take this part out. It is structure, so we're not incredibly psyched about that, but it should locate this push rod in the middle. As you can see, it does not move at all, which is not great. It's plasma in this. Let's do this. So the push rods are in, and they're pushing. I'm gonna rub in a bit. We're gonna do a quick suspension test with Max in the car.
Shit. Got articulation.
This was a successful suspension test.
I actually don't know how to weld, but I'm the welder guy, so. So we ran into an issue. We don't have much structure here to mount the cantilevers, and cantilevers, we're trying to do like an offset stance, but it's not working out too well. So I think we're gonna try and tap in here, and we're gonna run our cantilever suspension forward and back like this. And it's gonna look pretty cool, and then we can have a bunch of stuff in the center for mounting. Should be sick.
So this is also really good because it makes our hole in the bottom of the floor just nice and prominent.
You know, we can get all of that exhaust gases from any of our leaks just circulating through the cab.
So if you guys remember back to the first episode when I was cleaning this car out and there was hair absolutely everywhere, when I was pulling off these panels to get off all of this and all of this where the new suspension is gonna go, there's dog hair underneath even that. It is just everywhere in this car.
We should weld one. Plasma cut it. Let's see what happens.
Alright, so basically what happened is we had scheduled 2 days of after work sessions to get this car done before the Gambler 500, and just before we started today I realized there's one issue we hadn't even thought of. It has to do with the clearance of the push rods going through the body. So we've basically spent the last 2.5 hours of one of our 2 days just fixing those clearance issues, not even going into the stuff that we had planned. So we have about an hour left of tonight before we have to stop because it will be 10 o'clock and our neighbors will get mad. And then we'll have tomorrow, and I'm assuming maybe even a third day, but we will get this car done. So now that we made the holes where the push rod's gonna go through much bigger, we got these plates that we're gonna weld in to add some structure to it. It's where the hole used to be. So we're gonna put these in and the subframe finally goes up.
Welding.
It is Thursday evening right now. We're leaving tomorrow after work, so roughly 24 hours. Still don't know exactly where we're going, and our car is not together. I picked up all the correct hardware, fit everything up for the first time of it actually being run, and there are so many cars blocking in, I don't even know if we're going to be able to pre-run it tonight. So we'll see what happens, but it's going to be fun one way or the other. Alright, so it is the first day of the Golden State Gambler 500. It is Friday. It's a little bit past 4 right now, and of course the car is not done. So I just got here. I left work a little bit early. My 2 coworkers and their buddy are coming, and they're about half an hour behind. So I'm going to show you exactly what we're going to do today, because as soon as they get here, it's just going to be a whirlwind of work to try and get this car on the road. We just got the coordinates this morning for the start location, so we now know 100% where we're meeting, and it's about 4.5 hours north of here with a little bit of traffic. So we're trying to get out of here before the sun goes down. We got a couple hours, and I really hope that happens. On the drive shaft, we have to put it back in. Obviously, it needs to be lengthened. I did go to a professional driveline shop, South Bay Driveline, and they were very helpful in telling me that they can't extend this one, and if we wanted to make a custom one, it would cost about $4,000. So the solution that we settled on, which we both were not psyched about, but we made work, are these awesome spacers that were made by my buddy Phil at the studio. He made these a couple months ago, and he's been texting me weekly to see if they fit and how they work and everything, and we're leaving today and haven't tested them once. So both of these are going to go on either side. This needs to get pushed back a little bit, so we're going to have to move those out and maybe only use 2 of the 4 holes. For the hole in the back of the car, I got this 1/4-inch mesh at Home Depot. I also got this house flashing. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to cut out the mesh in the shape of the hole. Then we're going to take the flashing, we're going to put it on both sides of the mesh to create a waterproof seal. We're going to self-tap screw in the entire assembly, and then we're going to run more flashing around the side. So that'll keep the water, mud, snow, whatever out of the car. It'll also keep the exhaust from flowing back into the car. And because the fuel filler cap still doesn't work because I didn't have time to fix all that up, I got this PVC, which we're going to run into the gas tank. I got some elbows over there, and I got this cap here, so I have to cut this to length, make sure it all fits up, and then secure it in there. And that's so we don't have to do some type of unsafe refueling. I'm going to get going on the drive shaft first. And of course, I just realized that when I ordered this hardware to put in the drive shaft spacers to get the drive shafts hooked up for the rear axle, I only added 1 inch of length. So we're gambling this weekend with a front wheel drive only XC70, and that is going to make it a huge challenge. All right, well, I might as well get working on the fuel filler cap, since that definitely does need to get done before we go. Nice piece in there with some of Greg's blood there.
That's Max's.
Okay, it's Max's, whatever. This is our fuel filling system. It's a little bit loose. We'll probably put more flashing around it, so it's good.
The last part is to fix this right here, doing the same method of putting chicken wire and then flashing on both sides. All right, so here we are. It is about 30 minutes past when we thought it was gonna be, but we are packed and ready. Really glad we got the wagon. We picked up one more person, that guy, and there's a lot of stuff.
Let's go.
We're ready for our test drive as soon as we move all the other cars out of the way.
There you go. That's an acceptable form of rubbing. That's fine. Oh yeah, that's just...
Look, when I turn left, it slows the car down. What are you doing? Oh, we're good. I got this. I got it. The horn doesn't work.
Okay. We're gonna do some last minute clearancing right here on both sides of the car since it's rubbing like crazy.
We haven't used a hammer yet. Hammer pry bar combo.
Like eating this pretty bad. Oh, you're also hitting this. So that
Yeah,
can...
so this thing can off right into infinity. We don't need that. Right? Pizza. Oh, that's factory.
All right, now the metal.
We'll try this at home, kids. Ooh, that was sketchy. You saw that? It's moving at the same frequency as the blade. I can't cut it.
I like to preface this by saying Max is probably one of the smartest kids I know, and he's holding the Sawzall blade with his hand and cutting.
I want to get the redding, dude.
All right, same deal on this side.
Ready?
Yeah. So while Max is over here cutting.
This is way better.
Wow. Those were a couple small cuts. They made a huge difference. Look at that. So this is kind of an issue that it's almost rubbing already. Yeah. This is so cool. I'm so happy. All right, so the car's back together. We're loaded up. We trimmed the fenders a bit, and we're gonna take it on its first test drive now to make sure that it is roadworthy before we hit the freeway. All right, that's good. Good.
Good.
All right.
Good. We're good.
Send it. There's only one foolproof method to get Greg to stop working immediately. This Mars?
Yeah. No, I got the thing in.
We almost got him.